Hi, my name is Vanessa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use Timeless B5 Hydrating Serum, which can be used daily in the morning as well as evening, and it is suitable for all skin types. It mainly targets hydration, wound healing, so it has anti-inflammatory properties, and it can be used to moisturize the skin. And so you can use it on all skin types, and it's especially great if you have an oilier skin type. You may have also breakouts here and there, and you want to look for something lightweight that's not too heavy, nor does it make your skin any further greasy. Then this serum can be used on its own like a moisturizer, so to say, but of course you can add it to your current existing skincare routine and use it along with any other skincare products which you may have at home. It does not have any conflicts, but what matters is the order of application. So as always, I have prepared for you an example skincare routine so that you can see the order of application in PowerPoint slides, and then later on I want to put this into practice and show you the entire application and give you an overall general guide of how much you need to use of each product. Now I want to get started with the morning skincare routine, starting off with your cleansing step. This can be an exfoliating acid cleanser, this can be a gentle cleanser for your skin type, or you may just want to wash your face with water. Now if you have sweat a lot, you have like a lot of oil on the skin, or even some residue left from the night before due to a certain skincare product, then I still recommend working with a cleanser to properly wash your face. Rinse it off, pat the skin dry. Then you're moving on to your hydrating and soothing toner. If you like to, that's an optional step. Apply it to the skin, leave it on the skin, and then you're going to move on to the B5 Vitamin Hydration Serum, and then you're going to apply it to the skin and leave it on the skin, and then during daytime follow with sun protection afterwards. Now, for an evening skincare routine, it can look pretty much the same, or of course you can adjust it depending on your skin concerns, and you want to like change certain treatments, that's completely fine as well. And then it can look pretty much the same based on the order of application, but maybe instead of working with an hydrating and soothing toner, you want to like switch it out to a leave-on exfoliant. If that's what you usually use, then go ahead and do so. Then this is going to be after your cleansing step, but before applying the serum to the skin. And then instead of working with sun protection during your evening skincare routine, you can replace it with an oil and or moisturizer as your last step, because in the evening there's no sunscreen needed. Now, if you have worn sunscreen as well as makeup throughout the day and your usual cleanser isn't able to properly remove everything from the skin, I recommend doing a double cleanse, working with at first micellar water, then your regular cleanser, or with an oil or balm cleanser, and then you are going to move on to your regular cleanser to make sure that any excess oil, dirt, sweat, makeup and sunscreen comes properly off the skin so that there's no residue left before continuing with the rest of your skincare routine. And so then there you have an example setup of what the order of application would look like. Now, if you want to see those example skincare routines in your own time again, you may also want to use it as a guide, and you want to know more about like general skincare tips that I can share with you, such as like a sunscreen guide, the products that I have picked, what they can do for you, for whom they are suitable, about the cleansing step, the order of application. You will find all that information in the description box down below. You just need to click on it and you can even download it. Now I want to move into the practical part, and I'm going to show you the application. So I have the setup right here of cleanser, toner, serum, and then oil and or moisturizer. We're going to go with an evening skincare routine, but nonetheless during daytime sunscreen. And that's basically it. So we are starting off with the first step. This is always your first step. Doesn't matter if you're doing this in the morning and or evening, it's your cleansing step. So right here I have a gentle cleanser. It's great for combination to oily skin. It's Cetaphil Daily Facial Cleanser. If you have a different one, go ahead, exchange it. That's completely fine. Just make sure that it's able to properly wash your face and that it does not irritate your skin in any way. And please make sure to read on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser if you're using a different one. Now you can wash your face above the sink or take the cleanser in with you in the shower. Both ways are fine to properly wash your face. Just make sure that everything comes properly off the skin. So I'm going to do it now above the sink, and in this case it is advised to apply it on wet skin. So I'm going to go with lukewarm water to warm water. I'm going to wet the skin, then I'm going to use a bit of the cleanser, between 1 to 2 pumps, about a coin size amount more or less as a general guide. Massage it over the face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then again rinse it off with lukewarm water to warm water. In between, especially if you're trying to remove any residue of your cleanser, maybe sunscreen and makeup as well, you can use a soft and fresh washcloth in between, which really can help you to make sure that everything comes properly off, and then you're going to pat the skin dry. So let's go ahead and do this. So now go ahead and take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry, and by that I mean removing the water drops from the skin surface, and your skin still will remain damp. So once you're done with your cleansing step, now you can immediately move on to the next step. Now the next step is an optional step, as I already mentioned earlier. This can be an hydrating and soothing toner and or leave-on exfoliant. If you want to work with it, then go ahead and do so. I have 2 examples right here of hydrating and soothing toners. One's the I'm from Rice toner, the other one is an example of Timeless, the hyaluronic acid spray with matrixyl, and in this case rose extract. So those are just 2 examples. If you have a different hydrating and soothing toner, you may work with an exfoliant as usual, well then go ahead and replace it. Now I'm going to use the I'm from Rice toner as an example, and if you have a toner where you're going to dispense the product, you can do this on a cotton pad, then soak up a cotton pad, make sure that it's not overly wet, like dripping wet, and then blend it all over your face and neck, or apply it with your hands, and then dispense about like 5 to 10 drops of your toner in the palm of your hand, and then apply it to the skin. If you have a toner that comes in a spray bottle, you can either like spray it immediately on your face, or you can go with like about 2 to 4, maybe 6 like spritz on the palm of your hand and then apply it to the skin. Just don't forget to give it a good shake before you're going to do the application. Rub your hands together and then immediately blend it all over. Just make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. If that's the case, rinse it with water. So once you're done with your hydrating and soothing toner and exfoliant, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And now you can move on to the serum. Now, as I already mentioned, you can use the serum on its own as the only serum that you like to have in your skincare routine. However, if you want to use that serum along with other specific treatments, then I recommend layering from the thinnest to the thickest texture. Now I'm going to keep my focus on the serum on its own, and what's important to emphasize is that you shouldn't use too much of it because it blends evenly, like you have enough time and enough product with just a little bit to apply it all over your face and neck. So as a general guide, I recommend going with 2 to 3 drops. Start off with 2 drops. If that shouldn't be enough, depending if you're going to like include a toner or not, then you can add a drop more. But I wouldn't use more than that because you really have enough product for your entire face and neck. Otherwise, if you're going to use more than that, it may feel a bit uncomfortable on the skin, it cannot properly absorb into the skin, and it may cause issues or like an uncomfortable feeling when layering other products afterwards. So therefore go with 2 to 3 drops. You can apply it either with the pipette immediately to your face and then blend it all over, or use a bit on your fingertips or immediately on the palm of your hand and then start with the application. Whatever method works the best for you, go ahead and do so. There isn't really a right or wrong, it's all about what works the best for you. And then apply it all over your face and neck. Again, make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. If that's the case, rinse it with water. So once you're done with the application, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, if this is going to be your morning skincare routine, you now can follow on with a moisturizer and then separate sunscreen, or skip the moisturizer and immediately move on to your sunscreen. Or you may have a moisturizer that already contains SPF, there you have the 2-in-1 and then do the application. However, for the evening, when not being exposed to the sun, well then you can just stop right here and basically use the serum on its own. If it feels hydrating enough, if it feels comfortable on the skin, then there is no need to necessarily follow with an oil and or moisturizer afterwards. However, of course, depending on your skin type and your needs and maybe your preference, you can now go ahead and do so. And I have two examples right here. I have Nio's Hydration Vaccine as an example of a moisturizer. So if you're working with a moisturizer, use about a bean size amount, or an oil such as Timeless Squalane oil, well then use between 4 to 6 drops for your face and neck. Or you can even mix your oil with your moisturizer, use a couple of drops of your oil, use about a bean size amount of your moisturizer on the palm of your hand, mix it and then do the application. So there are several methods on how you can adjust it depending on what you really prefer and what feels good on the skin. So as an example, I'm going to go with Timeless Squalane oil and I'm going to use about 4 drops, which is for me personally more than enough for my face and neck. However, as a general guide, as already mentioned, go with 4 to 6 drops. Rub your hands together, or immediately, as I already mentioned, apply the drops to the skin and then start blending all over. So, and once you're done with the application, again, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And this is an example of how you can include Timeless B5 Hydration Serum and how you can also, for example, use it on its own. So there are certain optional steps that you can, but you don't have to include. And I do hope that you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful. Again, I want to remind you, you will find the PowerPoint slides in the description box down below, and you can even download them. If you enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful, well then please don't forget to give the thumbs up as well as share it. And if you now want to learn more about skincare in general, maybe a double cleanse, how you can apply your sunscreen and so much more, you will find all the videos on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!